Buddy and Bulldog from Wrestling Merchandise and Memories. That's merchandiseandmemories.com. And welcome to another edition of Bulldog's Unboxings. It's actually going to be a little bit of history in this edition, as never before have I unboxed, or owned for that matter, a figure from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the Super 7 Ultimates. And as you may or may not be able to see on the box, I'll just bring it up here. It is Evil, the King of Darkness. So this is one of those deals like the other Super 7 figures that we've opened, where there's a box in a box. So we'll just, there's nothing else to see on the box here, I don't believe. Just some instructions here from Super 7. Anyways, we're just going to crack this open and we can show you the actual box here. So once you open the box here, you have another box. It says New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Sports, and then it has a very colorful version of the New Japan logo on the back. And you can see here, we're going to open the actual box now with the figure. So a third box, if you will. And here we have the figure itself. This is super impressive. I have so much, I want to get into here on the figure, but I do want to open it first. You've got the New Japan logo once again. You've got King of Darkness Evil. And then on the back of the package here, you've got some of his stats. He's from Unknown. You've got his Twitter handle, which is kind of cool. His finisher called the Evil, and his height and weight. And yeah, let's open it up and let's talk more about this Evil figure. All right, let's first take a look at the base figure itself. I am super impressed with what I'm seeing. This is an incredible robe. I haven't seen anything quite like it before, with the black with sort of silver trim, and then you've got this cross symbol on the back and on the front shirt as well. He's got a hood here, so we're just going to peel back the hood for a second, and you've got his first head. I do notice there's a bit of marking on his head, which I suspect is from the robe, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll take a closer look at that after. But this, the look overall, this is not your average wrestler, like somebody who's put quite a bit of attention to detail into his design. See if the robe comes off. I suspect it does. So what I figured out here, there's several pieces. There's Velcro that puts this front piece, so it's all one piece all together. And we're going to try and ease it all off. Get the hood over his head, which looks to be a bit difficult. Perhaps if I twist the head off first. Let's see. I did not have to twist the head off, but I was able to maneuver it. So the first thing I do notice is there is just a ton of staining from this robe. And that's probably why. You can see it on the legs here, on the arms, on his head. And that is perhaps why, Mattel and Jazzwares often, now use their robes as like they pack them separately for this very reason. His head also looks like it's on securely, but it just looks like his neck is a little too large in first impressions. But the deco is quite impressive here. You got the very colorful, like purple color on the black backdrop. Face scan is pretty awesome. Like I said, I just don't like the amount of space for his neck here. It just seems a little bit too long. And then he's got these like smaller boots with black and purple laces on it. It's really interesting. I think there's a lot to this. Now, in addition, he also comes with some other things. So let's start with the head option. There is another head on here, so we're going to twist this guy off. And we are going to pop the other head on. The head itself was a little tough to get on, and again, you've got this issue where the neck just seems to go on forever. I do like this face scan a little bit better, but both are fine. Yeah, this is a problem for me, and I think the only real workaround is to put the robe sort of back on, just to correct. You're not staring at the guy's 10-foot high neck here. In terms of articulation, it is not, for something that's called Ultimate, it certainly is not as impressive as some of the Mattel or Jazzwares figures. You do have a bit of flexibility here, but it just feels like it's very painful to do, like the bicep curl, for example, and that sort of thing. It just looks like this is like a half finished wrestling figure. It doesn't feel like it's got the same polish as some of the other figures I have in my collection. You do have lots of hand options here. Like, I want to say this thing came with like 85 different hands. That's probably not true. There's probably about 10 alternate hands in addition to the ones he comes posed with here. I'm not sure which are which, but I'm gonna put them up. And it's definitely, you know, some good options here, given that he he's got the finger tape here, so it looks that much more interesting. Still going through different hands here, and you know, they definitely, if you're looking to pose this, you've got a lot of really solid options. A couple more here, so you got the C grip, and then another one here. And one of the reasons I may switch this to the C grip, because of one of the unique accessories this has got. So let me just switch one of the hands real quick. So I've put his right hand with the C grip, and that is perfect for holding this huge, I don't know what you call this, a scythe or a sickle or something like that. Okay, it doesn't fit perfectly in this hand. There may be a trick to it. There's also a bit of a chain if he wants to hold, but this thing is taller than him. This is huge. What a cool, just evil accessory. And then in addition to that, you've also got this, I want to say COVID mask, but I know that's not what it is. Just part of his entrance gear. I've seen it before on him. So you just kind of fit it over his head. And then you've got that with the spikes. It's a good look as well. Like, you know what? Honestly, the biggest disappointment for me in this is all the staining from the robe and the fact that his neck is super long. So if you do put the robe on, I don't think these issues are not gonna be nearly as visible. But what you're left with is trying to get his mask off here. But what you're left with is a pretty decent figure if you are a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, as you can see, I put the robe back on him. It doesn't look exactly like it did in the box, but did my best. This is a decent figure. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. Beautiful packaging, great idea, some very cool accessories to it. But overall, I'm going to say, you know, I prefer, by and large, like the Mattels and things of that nature. I've got an Evil figure in my collection. I'm glad I've got a New Japan figure in my collection. I'm not super impressed with how this turned out. I'll be completely honest. I think they could have done better, and it's definitely going to be a consideration for me when I go back and look at some of the other figures they have, like the Tanahashis or Okadas, or, you know, things like that. But I'm glad I at least have one now. For Bulldog's Unboxings, I'm Canadian Bulldog. We'll see you next time.